am a quick start entrepreneur, which means I started using dice before I did the research to see how trademarked it was in like 6 different categories. So we changed the name to FIRELAB. So anytime we're using dice today, it's no longer dice, it's now FIRELAB. Sorry for any confusion, and I look forward to sharing these methods with you. Welcome, everybody. Michael, we're going to rock.
Dane is trying to introduce the thing I've been working on for the last 5 years. It's called Momentum. It's a complete longevity shake. It's the top 20 things you're declining in as you get older, all put into one delicious shake at the most extreme premium version of everything with zero concern about cost.
So this is a really exciting moment because, Mike, do you go by Mike or Michael?
You know, whatever moves you. I think I'm going by Michael these days.
All right. Michael sounds more professional.
Right?
Anyway, yeah.
Right.
So how many of these little protein bags are you selling a month right now?
10,000? Something like that?
10,000.
Part of this journey was to try to pursue something that was going to require all of me, that was going to require a ton of growth. And so for me, starting another company wasn't that's interesting. I wanted to make something. And I think the only way to make something that you're really, really proud of is to be obsessively in control of everything. Maybe that's a limiting belief on my own part, but my point is, unlike most supplement companies, I started everything, built my own manufacturing facility. We do everything in-house.
It's a fantastic product. Good. You mentioned that you thought you might have had a limiting belief.
Sure.
And I just wanted to comfort you that that's a prototypical founder, especially like the big ones, like the founders of Cane's Chicken or Steve Jobs or
basically the same person.
Yeah, they're no, but they have the same analytical sort of like, I need to master and control the living crap out of the quality of this experience. And that's what you were talking about. So a lot of people, especially if they're beginners, they're looking for an easy 10 grand or 50 grand a month, or maybe even 100 grand a month. I talk to some beginners and they're like, I want to make $1 million in the next 90 days. And I'm like, oh, and how much money have you made on your own before? Is none? Oh, this is too much TikTok for you. You said you wanted to start a business that would, and I get choked up thinking about it because you're speaking to the deepest value that I hold. You wanted to start a company that would require all of you to become a better man. And I think the number one reason for me, and I think for anybody to take any action, is for their transformation. And when you take actions for your transformation, then if it fails, you've still transformed. But if you take action without an interest in your own transformation, when it fails, you've just kind of bankrupted your time. Talk to me a little bit about what I've just shared here and your perspective on it.
This is my 5th multi-million-dollar company. The others have been sold or wound down, or the new owners have driven them into the ground. Everything I've ever built is gone. And I poured my heart and soul into all of those things for different reasons and at different stages of my life and own evolution. But the thing that remains is the person I've chiseled out of stone. That's where the true value is. The money I've made from them has been spent, but I think I have become, to myself at least, priceless. For me, the building is the reward. The process is the source of purpose. I just get excited about finding new ways to grow. To me, like, I don't know if it's in shot, but we got these plants here, like, they're alive because they're growing. And I don't think we're any different. So if we lose our reason to be growing, we're essentially losing the light.
So this is your 5th multi-million-dollar company. So you got a few at bats. So now you've got a different level of confidence than someone who's done 0 multi-million-dollar companies.
Right.
So at 5 multi-million-dollar companies, you're like, all right, I'm going after the megalodon in the
to
ocean.
Me, it's nothing to probably compare to like my idols, right? And I want to put that in perspective. I thought you did a really good job. I have at least 20 failures to stack onto that, right? And I don't think most people are aware of, batting 100 out of 1,000 is amazing. My 20% or whatever hit rate is not normal, but there's a whole lot of learning opportunities that took place before that, right? And also to put it in perspective, almost all companies fail usually in their first year, and many more after that. And the ones that do make it, like it's sub 5% of companies that make it more than a year make more than $1 million. It's extraordinarily rare. Just to put it in perspective for people, like setting expectations, you see this stuff on Instagram. But it's survivorship bias at its most extreme.
Yeah. What does survivorship bias mean?
You're only seeing the perspective of winners, and they're not sharing their losses. You don't get to see all the people that quietly went in the corner and shot their business.
Yeah.
But there's exponentially more failures. Anyone who's ever done anything has exponentially more failures to have learned that stuff. There just isn't a book to, get your reps in. You have to do it, right? You have to go try. Oh, that didn't work. Go try. That didn't work. And in that process, the muscle you're building is the ability to try and try and try and learn and iterate and know that that is part of the process instead of taking it as an ego shot the first time something doesn't happen. You're expecting it. In the making of Momentum, I didn't start out trying to make a company. I started out trying to figure out the most unachievable thing I could think of. How do I get a year younger this year for my birthday? The main motivation before that was my girlfriend got very sick. She woke up blind one day with multiple sclerosis, just blackout blind in her left eye. We all of a sudden had to become medical experts. It became abundantly clear to me that there is chaos in the understanding of health and nutrition in the world. You have everything between true experts and doctors and what we currently know, and then the vast majority of chaos and miracle cures that are total nonsense, and everyone in between trying to really fulfill their own needs and desires. So I'm watching Stephanie try every single supplement and diet regime that she can learn about and choking down pills every single day to the point where she just physically cannot do it. And it became really clear to me that there needs to be some sort of curation of nutrition that you could trust, that was at some sort of top tier quality. And for God's sakes, why isn't this in a shake that you would like to drink instead of a mountain of pills?
This video is about the smartest man in the room is usually the most quiet. This video is about Operation Free Brent here. And Brent, so you currently are holding down a 9-to-5.
I am, yeah.
And your heart's speaking to you for more?
It is, yeah. I'm eternally grateful for the position I'm in, my 9-to-5, but I know that it's not what I am meant to be doing here.
Say a little more.
Well, I think we all just get to a point in our lives where it's more important for us to be building something that has that return on life, and not only for yourself, but for others. So in my current role, I have the ability to serve others and make a positive impact in certain ways, but it is also very limited in its capacity.
So this is Operation Free Brent, and what we're going to talk about is Michael is here for DICE session number 1. DICE is discover, invite, create, and expand. And we're going to enter into a DICE discussion on Michael, your business. So this is Mondo Llama, and we'll take, what color do you want, Brent?
Green all day for me, but
green all day. Oh,
it's your call.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
So this is that's actually the most important part. So when it comes to discovering financial opportunities that you're excited about, it's really about making sure that you actually have skill to pursue the thing you're excited about. And so what I'm a big advocate for is building your skills. If you don't know what your passion is, building your skills can often help you identify what it is. And then once you have your skills, you find your passion, you can actually execute on it. So DICE is an amazing entrepreneurial creation framework, a way to identify income opportunities. But at the heart of what DICE is, it's about value creation. And value creation is a pretty poetic thing, really. When value happens where it didn't happen before, like, tears of joy can happen. And value creation in the context of what we're talking about is usually in the process of removing pain. So and I think that's what a lot of really successful businesses are built around, is the removal of pain. And when certain businesses don't succeed, it's usually because their pain isn't acute enough. So we're going to do DICE with Mr. Michael and Brent. So we're working with a man who knows what he wants. This is great. So before we begin DICE session, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do it once while teaching Brent, and then have Brent do it once while I'm still teaching. And I'll have Brent fill out the paper here.
Please, yeah.
Okay. What do you start to feel when I say that? Looks like you're feeling
Yeah, I did.
because you can feel the sincerity in my heart.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I think accepting help is something I need to work on. So yeah, this would be an interesting experience.
Yeah. You're a man after my own heart, man.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for being here. You're a tremendous help. So really starting this off, when we're looking to generate income, what we're really actually saying, whether we know it or not, is that, God, I really want to serve somebody. And if our income that we're generating isn't based on really serving somebody, the chance of that income lasting for any meaningful period of time is very, very slim. And so it's just one of the greatest joys, Michael, to get a chance to serve you. And it's so meaningful. So we want to start, and now that you understand that that's our intention, what we're going to be looking to do is map all the aspects of your business where there is pain and see if there might be a product opportunity that you'd be so thrilled to pay for because the gain would be so much more than whatever we found. Does that sound clear?
Yeah,
Do you feel enrolled in that?
let's do it.
So, Brent, what I want you to do is I want you to put right before here, during here, and after here. So we've got before, during, and after. And what I want to do is I want to break down your business into all the big areas of things that you have to do to serve a customer before they come in, during while they're buying, and then after they've bought. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's start at before. So what are kind of the big things that are happening before a customer comes in?
Things that I've excelled at in the before category are branding and identifying the correct place to be, and
The offer creation.
then the production of said thing. Building the facility, building the team, building the process, logistics. There are 30 something ingredients that come from every corner of the world. We go straight to the manufacturer and develop those relationships.
Building team. Yeah, right there.
So
man.
that's where the vast majority of my time has been for the last 5 years.
Is in managing what? Sorry.
Just these things I just listed before, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing that would have to happen, which I have very little skill or maybe natural interest and probably even a lot of resistance, is in the marketing, letting people know about it. All these other things, the during and the after, like you ask me what my books are, no idea, zero, don't like that, numbers, not fun. Yeah,
Draw
any of those
a-
analytics.
Draw a not fun category right here.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun area to explore. Not fun, and that's knowing the books and knowing the analytics.
Yeah. I really have leaned into this philosophy of
Books and analytics. Bookkeeping,
yeah,
accounting.
taxes.
Yeah, accounting and
All I see is
analytics. So we got in the before, we got branding, offer creation, building the facilities, the team, the product, which you have 30 ingredients, and then marketing. Does that sum up how your brain thinks of before?
Yeah, I guess marketing and content creation, or you could just lump that whole thing into just
Put content creation. That's great.
outreach of some kinds, spreading the word. And there's, that's you have marketing and advertising; those are distinctly different things.
Like reaching out to influencers.
Sure, that could be part of it, right?
Okay. Put outreach.
Everything we've been doing is inbound. So like, I want to lean into the things that feel effortless to me, and I want to create stuff that is so in flow that we get inbound. So we only work with influencers that reach out to us. We have retail. We're starting to try to go after major retailers. When I say go after, I mean like I am receiving emails from people that would like to partner and have us sell in their stores. We were outsourcing to another fulfillment company in the beginning, and they were taking such a large portion, or their cost was so high, I wasn't able to hit the price point.
So let's stay on fulfillment.
Right.
Oh, good. So, and you said some really important things that I'll try and remember to come back to. Fulfillment. Tell me about like the more during stuff. Or do you want to tease apart fulfillment a little bit?
Fulfillment was like this whole process that I had never done before. I'd always used Amazon or a 3PL. And so there was a whole skill set there. of negotiating contracts with shippers, bringing in, our own warehouse attached to our manufacturing facility, making the team be able to deliver on an unboxing ceremony that I felt was wonderful for the customer.
Just we have a own facility, his own facility, and then you own the team that's fulfilling.
Yeah.
And then what were you talking about, the boxing thing, the unboxing thing?
When you open up on any Apple product, there is an exquisite feeling of luxury that you get from that experience.
When I opened Momentum, it was like full to the brim. Is that also another strategy you're doing where you're just making it feel like you get so much powder?
No. I mean, these are extra problems to solve, right? So we're like designing the bags, and we're working with a manufacturer to design the bags. And so like the zippers we have right now, we've tried dozens, and the ones we're having are still not good enough. And we finally found a good zipper that I think is bulletproof.
Zippers as an example.
Yeah, just one of a zillion things. Making the bag the right size so it'll fit in a box that will meet the size requirements of FedEx to hit like this category of cost per shipping, and then will also fit into my bagging machine.
Shipping logistics.
So there's like 1,000 problems to solve. So like the bag you got, we've already changed the size of it so it won't be so stuffed, right? But still fit.
But I ordered that like 5 days ago.
Yeah,
you fixed that in the last 5 days?
I mean, so maybe that was made like 3 or 4 weeks ago. The bags that we started filling earlier this week.
And did you get complaints from customers? Is that why you changed it? Or how did you know to change the bag size?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, one, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this looks a little stuffed.
Okay.
But then also like, I'm trying to like, some of these are arriving and they bursted open. So I need to maybe change the corners so they're not so sharp, or, like change the slight shape of the bag so it's not at this point pinching where there's like a rupture at the seal from being smashed around in the back of a truck, right? So figuring that out.
You're such a founder at heart, and you also happen to be an artist who used to sing and maybe still sing in your free time, and reminds me of King David from the Bible, where he was like just this baller dude who took down Goliath, and he could do all these enterprises, but he also just played guitar and sang. And he really loved singing to God in the Bible.
For me, like the zippers right now are not a problem. Like to me, like you just flick the powder out and it closes perfectly. But because there's 5%, 10% of people that like cannot figure that out, that's my fault. So I spent the last 2 months looking at every zipper that I could find, and then when I found a bag that was truly powder free, I had to reverse image search and find the manufacturer who makes that zipper. It took me 2 years to find this zipper manufacturer that like is bulletproof, and then get them to sell me just one pallet because they only work with containerfuls usually. So like this relationship I had to build with I just need this much right now. So like the logistical steps to undauntedly pursuing the answer to something is I've been just going after these things one at a time to try to prevent any kind of negative experience. Because I think if I'm obsessed with someone's experience, that just means that they will stay a customer.
What's your monthly churn?
So we have about 50% people buy like individually, one at a time. And about 30% of people sign up originally for a subscription. 60% of our sales are return customers at all times. So
let's get that new zipper on and get that up to 70%, bro.
I see it every time we make an improvement in something. I see the return rate increase. I mean, the customer returning to buy more. I see the churn rate drop. I think our churn rate for the subscriber is like 3.5% to 4% or something like that. And that is trending in the right direction.
On after, say, churn reduction, we got a 90-day window to lock in customers and reduce churn 300%. That's a very big opportunity. For during, we got fulfillment, and that comes down to the facilities you have and the team, down to things like getting zippers right. Is there anything else during that you'd like to make sure we have kind of high level on before we go to after?
I think there could be instructions for a more holistic approach to people understanding the value that they're getting and the other things that they can be doing that Momentum is part of to help them reach.
Okay, cool. So let's go to after. If anything comes up for during, we can come back. But this is good enough. There's more, but I mean, 80-20, right? So after this would be like an educational brochure that comes with a protein powder.
Yeah, we do have a booklet that comes with it, but yeah, maybe it's a course, maybe it's a challenge. I don't know.
Okay, so training material.
An email follow-up, a YouTube thing.
And that's currently not happening, right?
Literally none of this stuff outside of the product and the fulfillment is happening. One of the bottlenecks is me. You know, I want it to be perfect, so I haven't trusted other people to solve the problems, and maybe I haven't found the right people to enable. So I think that's part of what we're talking about, like building a team is something I have an opportunity to grow in. Yeah.
How big's your team now?
Right now there is like 2.5, 3 of us, not including myself.
That's all this 3-person company? Selling.
We get 2 full-time guys, a part-time guy, and one guy who just started a few weeks ago who's helping me handle these retail negotiations.
Selling 10,000 units. I don't know anything about e-com, but that sounds ridiculous.
Right.
That's pretty impressive.
We're trying to grow quickly. Well, I'm trying to grow reasonably.
Okay, let's
yeah, we can get back to it. But
so what's really interesting about
team building is something I need to get better and learning how to incentivize correctly and structure. And
okay, team building and team compensation / structure is after components. But
we don't do any kind of, like, we send 0 emails. There's no email follow-up campaign. There's no texting. There's no real relationship building afterwards. And I would love to be able, people email me all the time with like, the craziest stories and questions. And I personally respond to everybody, which is not scalable.
Well, this is fascinating that the product ideas kind of just fall out onto the table without us even having to go there. So let's flip this page and go right into and I'll just write Discover up here because we're now on so we've been in Discover. So first part of Discover is we're getting the landscape of the business before, during, and after. You could do it with moms, before, during, and after lunch, before, during, and after homeschool. Like it doesn't have to be business. So this is before, during, and after your workout. The heart of entrepreneurial profit is found through innovation. Innovation is found through highly, highly improving workflows. Those could be for the mom making lunch. Those could be for you during workouts. So what we do if we want to pursue innovation, what we do is we look for workflow optimization. And that's what we're always looking at. So that's why we do before, during, and after. We're looking at all your workflows. Thank God we do have processes. I want to go through each of these and rank them on a scale of 1 to 10 for how painful they are. Just kind of like, just heart level, like not a lot of thought, branding scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really painful.
Oh, no, 0.
Okay,
yeah.
0. Offer creation.
Yeah, no, with all those ones I like get a lot of joy out of, and it takes nothing for me to want to work on them. I just want to like get it to 99.99999%.
Good. All right.
And
so
I've been putting off the painful things, which are the marketing, the content creation, the sales.
How about building facilities and team and product and 30 ingredients?
Oh, yeah.
How about just building facilities only, 0 to 10?
That's been extremely difficult. I'm going to throw a 7 at that one.
How about building your team?
Oh, yeah, an 8.
Okay. This is so fun. All right. How about the product and the 30 ingredients? Don't you dare say anything less than 10. I'm kidding. Go ahead. What do you think?
I would put that it's super important. Like right now, we haven't been able to advertise for the last 2 months because one of the ingredients has just been out of stock.
So 0 to 10 difficulty product and the ingredients.
I have not succeeded at it in 2 years where, like every time we turn on the ads and we start to grow, we run out of one of them. And so that's a numbers situation.
Give me a number, 1 to 10.
Oh, yeah. Let's put that at like, I guess, a 10.
You're sure it's actually 10?
I look at the bottleneck. If we had not run out 5 or 6 or 7 times over the last 2 years of some ingredient, we could be 10x bigger than we are. It's literally, I just cannot advertise because of this and production.
Let's keep going. Marketing 1 to 10 pain.
It's something I just
say a number.
I think I'm going to put that at like 8 because I've just avoided it. So it hasn't caused a lot of pain.
Oh, all right. But if you were doing it on a daily basis, it would be like an 11.
Yeah.
Content creation 1 to 10.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe a 10.
How about outreach 1 to 10?
That is probably like a 5. And I think I found a good solution in a new team member who's really just loves this stuff.
Perfect. Good. How about during and fulfillment?
Yeah, we got it figured out.
1 to 10.
0. We've
Nice.
dialed it in.
How about your facility?
Right now, we're in a small facility, and there's a bottleneck there. Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I would put it at like an 8.
Cool. How about team 1 to 10? Is it kind of the same as these? The before's team and during team?
I would say building the team and then managing the team
Uh-huh.
are quite different.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like to be a manager. So I've been trying to the 2 guys I've hired are extremely competent, lots of experience, very capable. I don't think they've ever been in a true leadership position, and I've placed them in that.
How about 1 to 10 here?
I put a lot of time into it, and it is causing me frustration. I'm going to put it like at a 9.
All right. How about zippers?
I think I've solved almost all of these situations and feel good about it, and my capabilities of solving those are good. So I got like a 1.
All right. How about the shipping logistics? 0. How about after all the stuff you're doing to reduce churn? How would you put that on a scale of 1 to 10?
Probably a 9.
Training material 1 to 10.
9.
And the team, the compensation, and the structure.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of all the same thing.
Okay. 9.
Sure. Yeah.
So looking at all of this, what's it like for you to see the landscape of your business and kind of get this awareness on it?
It looks like I'm being a bit of a pansy about the things that are hard.
Really? That's what you think?
Yeah, and taking extreme
Are you having
comfort.
that thought, Brent?
I'm not having that thought.
I'm not having that thought.
That's what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm taking extreme comfort in the things that I'm already good at instead of like stepping up, recognizing where there are skill deficiencies and massive opportunities, and making excuses that those things are painful. I need to either get very good at building teams and incentivizing and empowering them correctly to take on these things that I don't want to do, or I need to get good at them.
You mentioned that you don't have any sort of like email system or any sort of post-client stuff. Would you like to map out what your like dream would be if that existed?
Sure.
So what we'll do here is for this, put a PF for pain flow, and then next to it, put DF for dream flow, like a box, and then PF, and then a box and dream flow, and then a box for V, which would be value. So right now you just have basically no follow-up.
Right.
So just put no follow-up. All right. So now I want you to enter into, we're done excavating your soul. Okay. You passed. You did really good. And it was actually like really, did you like doing the before, during, and after?
Yeah, that was incredible.
What did you see, notice, learn, just in general, both the specifics and also just like in general and strategy, all that?
Yeah, I think it was just good seeing how everything's kind of put together from start to finish and seeing what you're really passionate about and what you like to focus on. It was a really good perspective for me.
So that's why I'm excited about. So let's look at this. I want to help design your dream follow-up system. And I would like the goal for the dream follow-up system to be to lock people in past 90 days.
Mhm.
Or the goal of the dream follow-up system is to get to that past the 90-day point. Does that sound like a good?
My dream goal is to have people have such an excellent experience and to get them through all of the areas that trip people up past 90 days, because then I know that they will lock themselves in and have amazing results. I don't want to like trick or persuade or manipulate. I don't want to persuade anybody. I want to help solve the things, getting in people's own way of having an incredible result. I know my product can deliver it, and I need to figure out where their pain points are and preemptively solve them for people, make a path so smooth that they cannot help but succeed. That's the dream scenario for me.
So let's see if we can't design it. This is going to tap your feet on the ground, take a breath. We're going to change
Ho, ho, ho.
our builder mode.
The wizard hat.
Wizard hat. My daughter picked this hat out, so I like to
Love it.
wear it. So let's talk about your dream. So you've got this magic wand in your hand. You know, you're there, and like a customer has just bought, and they're your dream customer, and there's a chance that you could lose them before the 90 days. What does your dream follow-up system post-sale do? And we'll draw boxes so you can see what we're doing. Your dream flow right here.
I would have somebody literally call or FaceTime with everybody and find out where they're at in their health journey and what their reservations are, and then help solve those individual
Great.
problems.
FaceTime, discover. So they FaceTime and they're going to discover their reservations. What do you say?
Like, what's going to prevent them from having this every day?
Differently the first time.
Yeah.
It was very powerful. So you get this person, maybe they're FaceTiming. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you for buying momentum.
I want to create a relationship so people have a trust in what we're doing and that they will follow this
FaceTime.
protocol.
And do a down arrow to build relationship.
Everything stems from trust. So for me, the entire purpose of the brand is to create trust. And if we can do that, and they believe that we're going to get them to this place, and I want to set expectations for them. This is going to take 100 days, whatever. And you have to do this every day.
Expectations.
I want to check in with them and set that thing and then follow up with them. Like, hey, did you take your momentum today? Did you get to bed on time? Have you walked? Have you talked to someone that you loved? And then
care plan. What would you call that? Care plan?
Maybe.
Accountability. Thank you.
And if they're not doing it, figure out why. So like in the beginning, we weren't giving people shakers. So I would send them a bag and then I would follow up with them like 2 weeks later. Like, how'd you like that? Like, I actually haven't tried it yet. We don't have a shaker. So I just haven't had a way to make it. So like now all the welcome kits include like a super deluxe shaker. And that's been like iterated over and over again to remove the reasons people weren't using said shaker.
You want a one-to-one relationship building algorithm that discovers any of the risks that the customer would have that would keep them from getting a positive outcome with your product.
Yeah.
And then hold things accountable to the outcome happening in the first 100 days.
Yeah.
You understand what you want?
Or maybe there could be like a series of videos or something and text follow-ups. There might be a way to automate all of those things, but really do everything I can to simultaneously establish trust and understand where the roadblocks are for people, and then create systems that remove those roadblocks.
That was amazing. Draw like a line here for could you just so this is kind of a separate dream flow. So let's look at what would the value be to you for if every one of your clients got a FaceTime?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of just getting, I mean, dude, even just a company calling FaceTime, hey, thank you for buying the product. We just want to know if we appreciate you. Even if it was just, just FaceTime by itself, what would the value be per customer to you? Kind of roughly, FaceTime was happening.
It would really depend on the results, right? So if we could increase customer success by 20, 25%, that's enormous. Every customer is worth like $2,000 a year, right? So if they quit after 2 weeks instead of sticking around, not only am I not achieving my goal of helping them live better lives, we're also not, our most valuable person in the world just walked out the door, right? The stranger is infinitely less important to me than the person that's here, has raised their hand and said, I believe you and I want to do this with you, and then them having a bad experience through my fault or just life
so
happening
Michael,
to them.
The difference is like you make $100 versus $2,000.
I basically break even versus making $2,000, right? So if we're bringing in 100, 200, 300 new customers a day, and I can increase that, if I can keep an extra 10 or 20 of them, that's meaningful, right?
Yeah, that's 20 to 40 grand.
Sure.
20 grand. Or 10 would be 2,000 total.
Right. Yeah. Per month times 2,000.
Hey, there's a Ferrari and 10 Lamborghinis. So is it 2,000 per year?
Yeah. If they stick around, I think if they can get to 100 days, they'll get to a year.
And that would be worth about $2,000 on average?
Yeah, probably something around there.
Okay. So right now,
maybe more.
Well, yeah, we should. I mean,
it's really like, because a happy customer is referring 3 or 4 or 5 people at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So there's not only exponential,
not more customer lifetime value, but also new customer acquisition too.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I can't emphasize enough that the number one thing any business should focus on is obsessing that their customers are getting outcomes.
Right.
I'm in software as a service. We obsess that our clients buy our software, get an outcome. You're in e-com, people buy, if you just obsess if they get an outcome, reduce churn, increase lifetime value, increase referrals, all the effort you spend on creating 50 different Facebook ad creatives, put 50% of that towards just like what things can you do to ensure customer outcomes happen. The outsized gain is so much higher. I love that you're saying this. So we have, if 200 people buy, let's just do simple math right now. So I was going to say, what's the value for FaceTime? What would be the value for relationship? What would be the value for getting trust? What would be the value for getting expectations? What would be the value for getting accountability? Actually, what you were saying is like, well, it just depends on how effective all these are. So we'll lump all these into one value number. Does that sound cool?
Sure.
So let's just take an example of so put 200 customers, and how many of those leave right now if they're all brand new?
Yeah, I think we keep about 50% of customers.
So 100 customers leave. So if we could save 25 customers for every 200, so say keep 25 more customers like you were saying, and correct me if seems...
I don't know.
Well, let me finish it, then you can comment. So then that would be $50,000 per year. Say $50,000 per year per 200 new customers.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have your dream flow. It's going to one-to-one reach out, figure out what the risks are, preventing them from drinking the protein shake every day, and then helping them stay accountable to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like we're on the same page?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So this sounds to me like a really phenomenal little niche software tool for obsessed e-com founders that really want to make sure their clients are getting outcomes with their products.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're not alone in terms of founders that sell e-com products that are in the dark as to how their product's being used. And if they could only figure out that data would help them get more customer outcome.
I do hear back from unhappy customers, and it's, about avoidable things, like,
Yeah.
and a lot, I would say half the people who don't continue think it's too expensive, which in my mind just means that I didn't prove the value of it in the time that I had with them, or they just literally their own finances. So some of those are maybe out of my control, but I do think we could educate people of the value of it a little bit more, and then literally just building the habit. They just didn't fit it into their schedule.
So dream flow, say educate on value and build in the habit. That's really important. You're educate on the value of the product and build in the habit. Educate on the value, build in the habit.
And preemptively get ahead of the problems that they're, finding ways to create. Like people are like, I mixed it with apple juice and it doesn't taste good. You're like, people are very creative in finding ways to make things not work.
Yeah. So building the habit underneath that would be like proper usage. Building the habit, part of that habit would be training proper usage with the habit,
Sure.
right? So very exciting. And something you mentioned earlier that I said I want to try to remember was, oh my God, I just had it. You mentioned that the product is 20 other ingredients that people pay separately for just on those, and it all gets put into one.
Yeah. If you were to buy everything separately, it'd be about $550 a month, and we sell it for $150.
And my question was just how prominent is that?
In my mind, I'm trying to create like a luxury product, and I feel like it's slightly...
No reason is going to be good enough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I understand the product is inherently expensive compared to other things individually out there. I do think, I don't know, there's something about talking about money that like makes it feel cheap. I don't know.
What I love about doing Dice, and we're only in Discover here, I feel kind of euphoric right now personally.
Yeah.
Do you feel like kind of a state of euphoria?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like a pure potential, like, oh my gosh, there's so many opportunities.
A lot
of possibility. That's what this Discover does, is it helps create financial opportunities really, really quickly for people, especially as they practice it. So now we're on Invite. We don't have to switch the page. You can keep Discover here. So we've discovered something. Let's go to Invite. So when we go to Invite, I would ask, and if you're not, that's okay. We can keep discovering. Would you be open to exploring the possibility of us helping you create your dream solution here?
Sure, yeah. I want to help people, and so if we can figure out how to do that.
Well, yeah, and let's help people, and let's get you $50,000 more for every 200 customers, bro.
Mm-hmm, sure.
So in terms of like shrinking this down so that it could actually be something that happens, as like, I think it like we don't need to build out like a full-fledged thing. We can like hack together things on the back end, it would seem very seamless to the customer, but like,
Hmm.
we use different tools to kind of approximate what this would do to really prove it out before it gets fully built.
Mhm.
Safer for everybody. In terms of price, if we were to come in and help on the next 1,000, and we were going to basically be your stewards and servants to your vision and your voice for what it does, what's said, when it's said, how it's delivered. We would basically just be the conduit for your voice in this. We wouldn't be telling you what to do.
Okay.
You're the one that knows what to do. We'd just be helping make it happen. How often do you get 1,000 new customers?
Well, when we're advertising, we're bringing in like 100 new customers a day.
So maybe we test it for like a whatever a month would be, like
Sure.
new customers for a month instead of 1,000. So like a 30-day thing. What price do you think would be so high that it's out of reach, or like that doesn't feel reasonable for us to engage in this? What price would be too low where you're like, I know I'm not going to get good service? And what price would be in the sweet spot where like, you're taking this seriously and you personally value it?
Well,
No wrong answer. We can make it a conversation.
I guess the thing that first popped in my head is, okay, if I should hire a customer success person, right? And whose job was to do this, and it would not be scalable. We maybe would send out automated invitations to have a quick one-on-one phone call, and then maybe a percentage of those people
Put a DF and then customer success, automated invitations.
10 or 15% of those people take up on that. So of the 100, maybe there's 15 phone calls a day or something, which is a lot. So a full-time customer success person is going to be $80,000 to $100,000 or something, who's competent and good on the phone with what we're trying to do at a high level, and has maybe it's more expensive than that. I don't know. So yeah, I think in that $100,000 range, if we could automate more of that, so it was more scalable for that one person, or I have a hard time believing that you could have a team of people doing that effectively.
Okay, yeah. So, in hearing this, so we've done Discover, we've done Invite, and we're looking at kind of like we're in the ballpark for what kind of prices we're looking at. And then what's really neat is so DI and then C is Create, they all kind of merge together a little bit. Like they very much bleed together. So you kind of went into Create a little bit. Hey, would you like to hop on a call at a certain, like you were actually creating another solution. We had this kind of FaceTime one, and then you had like your second time at it was like, you've already thought about it a couple of times. So now the product's even cooler. In terms of Create, would you be open to, what I heard is you don't like really building team.
Right. So that would be my hesitation.
Yeah.
The things that pop through my head is like, oh, could you have like a team of people that specialize in this sort of thing? I would be resistant to that. I don't want other people representing that I don't have a lot of control over. And so the other alternative would be to scale myself through videos or voice messages or texts that feel more personal, or email sequences, because I can't obviously make that many phone calls a day. So maybe there's another way to create that sort of all-encompassing relationship building framework.
Amazing. The idea of kind of roboticizing you, like your videos or stuff going out, like having you build a relationship with the person for the next 100 days. What would be like, let's say Brent was to help you execute this, and he was in the top 1% category in execution.
Sure.
And it was like, what would be like a no-brainer? You're like, dude, this is no stress. I would absolutely try it at this price for 30 days if you just do everything I tell you to do. And it was Brent for the next 30 days as a test. What would be like no-brainer?
Oh, I don't know.
Not too high, it's out of reach. Not too low, you question the value. Just right in that sweet spot where you're like,
to like have someone build out like an automated framework, or to like actually make phone calls, I guess.
I think we should start automated first, get that working, and go to the personal touch next.
Okay.
Just with how many sales you have.
Right.
The idea would probably be, we want to keep your costs as low as possible and your profit as high as possible.
Right.
Because we want to be a blessing. So ideally, it would be potentially a little bit more upfront because Brent's building it. But then as Brent doesn't need to help, it just goes into a smaller ongoing platform fee for whatever was built specially for you.
If there was a software, I mean, so there's obviously email and text responders and all that stuff. It could just be a service in the sense that someone creates these overlapping campaigns and has a structure in mind already for me to like make the videos or the content.
Yeah.
So if I could just have a structure and like have the homework to write the emails in a way that you knew would have the most engagement and the most value, and then you created it and segmented it correctly, and then copy that into a corresponding text program that effectively linked videos at certain points and certain kinds of outreach or scheduling calls. Like I would love to just fill in the blank on content and then have it seamlessly work across all these platforms. And the number that pops in my head is probably between like 10 and 15K.
Amazing. And what I think would be really incredible is not only like the creation of it, but then if it's Brent or somebody else, it's created, but then like they're like
optimizing it later.
Yeah. They're looking at the data every week and they're like, oh, no, changing this. We're going to put message 7 up to message 1. Oh, shoot, that changes everything.
Have me fill out like 5 different headlines or, to test.
So we've done Discover. We did the before, during, and after. We had you rate the pains. Then we did some dream flows around just one thing in Discover. The thing I like about this is it's the email follow-up, but also addresses that churn thing, which was really great. That's why I went here. Then we got to a price 10 to 15 for support with that. We would go into the create. That's where we would go into, what does this need to look like? What is the 10 or 15 going to create? And what outcomes is that going to drive? Because the thing is, I think the way we would do it is if Brent was to help you, or if I was to help you, it's like, okay, let's say it's 12 and a half, right in between 10 and 15. And then we say, we don't stop until this produces the outcome for you.
Sure.
Right. So if the first one doesn't work, open rates are low, we're going to move from email to SMS. So that's not working. We're going to have someone from the Philippines personally look up their Facebook and private message them. We're going to keep changing until the outcome happens.
I've worked with agencies and things like that before. My hesitation is always that the sales is way higher than the delivered. And I've never, ever felt like I lit a bunch of money on fire and it's like, okay, my learning experience. And that's like, these were like good agencies that were like came across as good agencies and they just didn't deliver either on time or the results, or like, I'm not putting my name anywhere on this. This is bad work. And they're like, okay, well, have a good one. Like, well, my money's already gone.
Remember, in my heart, there's never force.
Sure.
I am never trying to force. Ever. And if I am, it's like something unconscious I haven't healed yet, and I will work on it so I don't force. The intention is that 10,000% be a blessing to you. So when he says this, I'm like, okay, well, how about it's like $1,000 down, and then you don't pay the other difference to 12 and a half until you're absolutely thrilled. And you're like, oh, dude, the delivery is amazing, or some safety.
I feel comfortable taking on some amount of risk. Often is I have to assume all of the risk as the client.
That was a mistake. What I should have done, because I've been retired for a while, coming out of retirement to do this. So what I should have done is I said, is there a deal structure that you would like that would make you feel absolutely safe? Instead of saying, hey, we'll take 1,000. So I'll ask that. And you were like, you were actually going to try and protect me a little bit. You're like, no, I won't give you, I'll give you a little more. So what kind of deal structure would you feel?
Maybe 50-50 or something.
Great.
And the price has to make sense.
Amazing. And I want people to understand that price can actually be this fluid. Like when you're on a sales call, you can ask these, what's too high, what's too low, what's sweet spot, massage it, like letting it really be much more fluid than price should be a discussion and not a destination. And when it's a discussion, everybody wins. And when it's a destination, everybody's stressed. So here is what we're looking at. We've got for dice, we rolled our dice. And in this instance, I'd say we rolled a 6. We got 6 right out of the gate. And the reason I think so is we have this wonderful kind of customized, and I can see AI being tremendously useful in this post follow-up thing, like conversational, to the tone of the customer. Like it could research the customer and potentially crawl their Facebook page and approximate their personality and speak to them like their personality. Like we could do all kinds of dope stuff with this, Michael. And what I'm thinking about, so like we have D, we've discovered, we've invited you in for between 10 and 15. We've got a create phase where we're going to create a lightweight automated sequence based on a lot of things you want to say, based on standard best practices, but also based on like how a top 1% experience would look like. Once we've got create done, we're building it for you. We're getting you a positive outcome over the next 90 days. We're getting it measured. If that doesn't work, then we're going to go back to the drawing board and we keep cracking at it until it works. Just chances are the first implementation of this is going to be like the first protein powder you made.
Mm-hmm.
Once we've got you winning with it, then we go into E, which is expand, where if you're open to it, we would take your story of success using this product and then use that to scale to other e-com founders. Would you be open to sharing your success story with it?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Dice session complete.
Thanks, guys.
What I think would be good is if you're open to it, chew on it for like a few days and then maybe have a call with Brent. And after you've thought about for a while what your dream would be, you could run it by Brent. He could tell you whether he felt capable of doing it or not. And he's an honest guy. He would tell you. Does that sound like a cool next step?
Yeah, of course.
Wow, this is so cool. It's so nice because, you know, we're not solving the problem of an inferior product here. We're not solving the problem of you don't have enough sales. We're solving all the problems that you have earned. In the meantime, between the calls, what you can do is research the latest and the most like sort of state-of-the-art post e-commerce purchase follow-up case studies, what the top people are doing. So when you guys chat, you can give them a proper prototype of what you guys could test.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like start to curate all of these things and create a service that would be managing these sorts of things? Or would you, I mean, and then maybe after that and testing, maybe try to like build out your own, you know, tool with AI capabilities or something like that?
I think there's a lot of ways we could kind of attack it. There's one thing that's been coming up for me this whole conversation is the community aspect. Now your customer right
now.
No
community.
Yeah. I'm assuming that with a product that has these ingredients that are kind of filling in the gaps as you get older, is your audience base mostly older?
All over the place. We've got like professional athletes.
Okay.
We've got, you know, moms. We've got guys in their 20s. We've got guys in their 80s. So yeah, it's all over. But I would say our biggest demographic is probably like women 40 to 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are prime people for community.
So generally dealing with the same things for the most part. Anytime that I am a part of a company or have a product, if there's some kind of community aspect to it, there's always just another level of value that I get out of that, because the community adds value to each other. And in a lot of ways, if it's set up correctly, it can be kind of self-managed.
I think community is probably a great idea.
Yeah. I also like the idea of using AI to create personalized guidance for people. And it could be just maybe on that call, maybe on that FaceTime following up, gathering a few specific questions around their journey, around their health, things that are willing to share, right?
Building all these things sounds great.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, Michael. You guys are listening. You can find link to his protein shake in the show notes. Brent, thank you for being here, man. How this whole thing's really been Operation Free Brent. Have you felt served today?
Absolutely. This whole framework, I kind of came in blind without knowing exactly what everything looked like, and I love it.
Do you have any words of wisdom for the aspiring out there that have yet to create their own world?
Specifically for them, a lot of the things we talked about come from a place of, I have the opportunity to do it. I have struggled and gone up Maslow's hierarchy of needs and acquired the skills and have new needs and desires. But when you're starting out, you have to humble yourself and do exactly this, which is, it's got nothing to do with you and everything to do with solving someone else's problem. Not what you want to do, not the things necessarily that you like to do, the things that are cool or would give you status or any of those things. It's literally, what are people asking help for? And then you raise your hand and say, I would love to do that for you.